check. Things look like they're rolling.
Hello, hello, hello.
Sounds good. All right. So, Toni, if you could just give me your name, where you're living now, and what's the name of your book?
Hi, Peter. I'm Toni Bird Jones. I'm the author of The Measure of Love. I live in Fairfax, California, in a small town in the valley just north of San Francisco.
Let me ask you this. We'll jump right in. What inspired you to write The Measure of Ella?
I sailed for a living for 10 years and met a lot of people in the sailing community in South Florida, the Lesser and Greater Antilles. And I was down there for 10 years. I got my captain's license and, I was part of that community, and I met a lot of people that were in the same boat as I was, so to speak. Mm-hmm. A lot of us have-nots, the people that didn't have a lot of support, maybe not a lot of family. And, I met these people that would just, want to go off every once in a while to do a little trip and earn a little extra cash. And they're just normal, regular people who wanted to maybe finance a repair on their boat or fund their nomadic lifestyle. Just decent people really that didn't have much of a leg up in life. And I started noticing people going out that, one person I bought groceries for a week before, and then he left and he was gone for a while, and he came back and he was flush and buying drinks for everyone. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, well, I could do that, and just pick the right captain, pick the right boat, and but it's an interesting group of people. They're not, not all drug smugglers are the classic, evil drug smuggler. A lot of people are just normal people, and they do it occasionally.
Right. So was there any, and you don't have to admit to any wrongdoing, but how much real life experience was there that you took from those experiences that you put into the book?
Well, I was one of the have-nots. I was a good sailor, and I got asked on a trip or run, and I went on a couple of different runs, and I wasn't successful. The first run, chose the wrong captain. We ran aground on the Bahama Banks, missed the mothership, and so I came back empty-handed and kind of upset. And then the other one was down the Queso Bank, which turned fairly hairy. It's a long story, but I didn't make any money on that either. So that's one of the reasons why I was determined that Ella was going to come back with money. No matter what, she was going to get to keep the money, which I never did.
Oh yeah. Now let's talk a little bit. Well, we're going to jump into Ella in a bit, but let's talk about the theme of your book. There's obviously a lot of personal experience in there, but if you could talk about the theme, there's a lot of struggle in there. She is a person who really seems to be very dedicated, but was there an overall theme for you in this book that you're trying to get across to the reader?
Well, one of the themes that I started off with that I really wanted it to be apparent in the story is the idea of how chance, circumstance, opportunity, play, the unexpected, the unplanned for, play in shifting our life's path. And so that is the theme of the story. Ella, she loses her father, who meant everything to her. They had a dream together of opening a restaurant, and she was trying to hang on to that dream, and here comes an opportunity. And she takes it. She trusts the captain, and she, it's a balancing act. If they're balancing the risk over the opportunity, and in the end, she ends up fighting hard to keep her moral compass intact, and she wins. She ends up giving up, risking a lot in order to make things right.
It's a very hard balancing act as an author to take a complex character and show multiple emotions. If you read some books, the characters are all, you could switch their names and they'd be fine, right? So and so can say some line, or you could switch it to someone else. That's not true with Ella. And the things that Ella thinks and Ella does are specific to Ella, and you don't get that kind of characterization depth in a lot of books, especially books filled with action. I mean, you have a great talent for writing action. From the opening of the book, how do you really make sure that your characters are deep the way that they are?
Well, one trick I have is I assign each character a picture. So like Ella is Jennifer Grey. Uh, Falco is Al Pacino. Sully is Richard Burton. And I have them up on the wall, and I talk to them. But I think a character needs to be developed enough, deeply enough that we understand their actions. And, we're all made up of contradictions. We are not made of one piece of cloth. None of us are.
Let's talk about a couple other characters. Sam and Nikki, and I probably have to bleep some of this out a little bit, but they're kind of cheap and despicable at the same time. Cheap in not, I don't mean money way, but they're kind of trashy. And I don't want to name any names, but are they based on any actual people?
Oh, yeah. Most of my characters are compilations, but don't you just love trashy people?
Oh, I love them.
I mean, they were they were a couple that lived on the docks, on board a boat at the docks in Fort Lauderdale, and they were so brazenly despicable.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't possibly tell you the story right now, but which is much much worse than what was down on paper. But you know what? The people were drawn to them.
Let me ask you this: you obviously made a conscious decision to enter the Adventure Writers Competition. What made you decide? Yeah, I'm going to do this.
Well, in researching it, the Alliance of Independent Authors um, suggested, highly recommended it. And without a publicist, it's hard to get any attention of the upper echelon of the marketing world. So it's an opportunity to get noticed, and it's also as a great confirmation of your writing capability. Writing has values, and you spend years writing something. It's nice to know that people appreciate it.
Saying that we actually at the end of the presentation, I started recording you. So I put you up there. I started recording you, and the bad news is I didn't get any of the audio, so I didn't hear anything you said. But we all saw you jump like.
Oh.
So let me ask you, who did you tell first? Who was the first person you told? Hey, I won.
Oh, of course, my husband. Yes, my husband for sure. And then my siblings, my brother and my sister, who both were readers. And yeah, and then my friend Jenny. But I have a group of friends. It's just my sister-in-law, Amy Chapman, who was a really good reader and helped me along the way. So yeah, there's a lot of people to thank and a lot of people to share the experience with. So it's nice when you can finally give them some good news.
Yes, I know. Most of the time when they ask, so how's your book doing? And you're like,
Yeah, please don't ask that question.
Don't ask that question. Yeah.
Yes. It's so wonderful what the Clive Cussler Society does for writers. I don't think there's any other competition that I can think of that does everything that you do. Usually you get a sticker and maybe a press release, etc. But what you offer is just amazing. The support, the community, means a lot to me. You know, of course, the award money means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And the beautiful trophy, the interviews, you know, the possibility of being chosen by Brave Ship to mentor me through marketing, the writer's block group, which I'm looking forward to becoming part of, you know, and in the videos, everything that you're doing is just unbelievable. It's you don't see that kind of caring and commitment to other people very often, and I'm so impressed by Clive Cussler Society. I'm really proud now to be a member. I just got my certificate. You know,
Yay!
I'm going to put my award right here by my computer, and so I can stare at it.
There you go.
You know, and I can touch it and say confirmation, acknowledgement. You don't listen to yourself. Don't listen to the voices in your head. Look at the award. These people know what they're doing. You know, so
Yeah.
it helps enormously.
There's you know, sometimes up to 20 judges we have that all say, yeah, not only are you a writer, you're a really good writer.
Oh,
And
thank
you know, so that, I think that's an honor. The other thing I don't know if you know, but we're very happy to say is we've had finalists of all genders, and you are the first female to win the competition. So
I looked through it and I realized that, and I was so proud. I was so absolutely proud to be the first woman. So,
yeah, there's been some close ones, but there's you know, we've had finalists and everything, but
yeah,
I have to tell you personally, you know, I'm a writer, I'm a judge.
yeah.
I could not put it down. And
Oh, thank
even
you.
when I was reading it, I said, well, this one moves on. I knew that after the first chapter. I said, this one's
Yeah.
moving on.
Yeah.
Then when I came back to it the second round, I said, this one's definitely, I'm going to finish this one.
Oh,
Then I was like, I
yeah.
have to hurry up and finish these other ones.
Oh.
And there were some real good ones in there, but I said, I really want to find out what happens to Ella. So you did the
Well,
right thing.
I like having tension all the way up to the last page. I don't enjoy reading a book that the tension is over with, you know, 2/3 of the way through the book, and the rest of
Right.
the book is just like recap.
Congratulations on winning the 2020 Adventure Writers Competition Grandmaster Clyde Trophy. Boy, that's a mouthful.
I am one proud person. I am so enormously grateful and honored by this. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.